but yeah, it is what it is right now. Number 12 on pole position. There is Adam Unsworth and Bryce Rose with Spike Taylor and Kendall Dunlop there in second spot. And we've got that little Formula 2 bike up there that qualified in fourth place. Mark Hall and Jeff Davies on the 69. The Chris Thoreau racing machine. Mark races classics as well as the modern, but already a battle out there. I can only see one sidecar for the lead there. Spike Taylor runs around the outside on turn 2 here at Manfeild, but a little bit healthier brakes there for the Boss Engineering number 12 machine as the passenger Bryce Rose looks in behind. So and fourth place we've got the current New Zealand champions rearing the number 1 post on the Cox Motorsport machine. That is Barry Smith with Stu Dorr doing the passengering, beautifully presented machines. And then in fifth place we've got the ever enduring Lawrence brothers, Chris and Richie Lawrence. And look, we've got a battle for the lead going on, going into Higgins there. They're side by side there, going into Higgins. It still is the number 12 on the inside. Spike takes the longer line around the outside, holds his own there and finds another gear and winds it up down the back straight. We'll see who's the fastest. This is what Spike got. He's got a Suzuki engine in this bike, and that's an Aprilia V4 in the bike. In second place, Adam Unsworth. I used to race against him back in the late 80s. Way back when he had a short bike. This is a long bike, and he's been out and done a number of races at the cemetery circuit over recent years. Vince Sturr, one of the very capable mechanics he's got working for him. But that 69 there, Mark Halls and Jeff Davies in third place. This is an outstanding ride. We've got about, I think, 5 Formula 2 bikes out there. This is the first for Formula 2. We're going to go back to number 11 there in fifth place, and we go back to 16 as I'm on the wrong page here. Get up to speed before I get on the motorway. 16 is Michael Walland and Isaac Taylor there, back in about 6th place there. They're hunting down the Lawrence brothers, Chris and Richie Lawrence. Chris Lawrence has got his book for sale here. He's written a book there. He's produced, I think, 200 copies of that, and that's the end of it. So he's got a few copies here. Hunt him down the pits. He now does that. Another interesting bike out there, 57, is Brian Stent and Dan Franzen. Where is the other Cox Motorsport machine? There's something going on there. They very slow start there.
Yeah, no, they had to just pull off down the front straight. Not sure what's happened to that short Formula 2 machine from the Cox Motorsport stables, but a bit of drama. The 28 certainly had to come and pull up to a stop along the front straight. Now they're going again, so interesting to see if they're just going to circulate that back to the pits or they're back on race pace. Well, time will tell, but take nothing away from the man on a mission today. Spike Taylor, Kendall Dunlop at Penrite Oils Kiwi Bike machine flying out of the final corner, turn 7 here, and he'll tick off another lap in style. That's 2 down and 6 to go. Adam Unsworth and Bryce Rose, they get better and better every time they race this Boss Engineering a brilliant RSV4 machine, so that's going to be cool to see. And a shout out to the first of the Formula 2, Mark Halls and Jeff Davies on the CTR blue and orange commentators' dream F2 machine. Then look at our current national champions. They did a big season last year, won the Suzuki International Series, won the Grand Prix and the National Championship. So that was not last year, the year before. We've had a year off of championship level racing, and now we are excited to be back. So this is our front 4, still all on at the moment, but good to see a Formula 2 one mixing it up in these wet conditions, a real level of the rain here at Circuit Chris Amon Manfeild. A great battle going on for 5th and 6th place into the S's, with the Lawrence brothers just in behind Michael and Isaac there on that Penrite Oils machine. So plenty to look out for here, Spider. Some good fields of entries, 16 sidecars between the Formula 1 and Formula 2.
Yeah, and great to have Cox Motorsport on board. Cox is a DJ, internationally acclaimed DJ with millions and millions of YouTube sort of looks on his thing, and he sort of floats between England and Australia living, and I don't think he's been over in New Zealand for a couple of years due to COVID and that. I met him in Queenstown. He occasionally rides through New Zealand, got a house in Picton, and he's very passionate about New Zealand motorcycle racing and supports a couple of the riders' teams out here. He owns a couple of bikes that are out here on the circuit. He also is into car racing, drag racing himself, and supports the Cox Motorsport Higher Sun Cup as well, with the Ninja 400s in there. So there's an international man, can put his money anywhere in the world, and great to see him supporting New Zealand motorcycle road racing. Great battle going down the front straight between number 11 and number 16. That number 16 is Michael Walland. Been around for years. They're going to put on the barbecue tonight. Isaac Taylor hunting down the Lawrence brothers on the number 11 machine, as we said, hotting up on the infield. Third place, 69, Mark Halls, and Jeff Davies is being hunted down by the current New Zealand champions, number 1, and that is Barry Smith and Stu Dorr. I think they had to do a motor replacement yesterday. Heard they went back and did a motor replacement, so maybe this is their B motor in this big number 1 machine. But Spike Taylor in the class of his own out the front, he's about 3 seconds ahead. We'll wait till the things refresh themselves. 134 kilometres an hour average lap. Best time 1:21.4, 1:22.3 for Adam Unsworth and Bryce Rose. Spike was racing in the 1980s. I think in the 90s he ended up getting a New Zealand championship and never really left the sport for a long time. And he started to collect sidecars lately, but look at him out there on the number 17 master machine, mobility wire and responsive machine. Boss Engineering bike, the big Aprilia V4 there in second place. Are they closing in at all? I don't think so. It looks like the lead bike settled down. No, pretty much no one's got pit boards, and I do see one out there for the Cox Motorsport team, and they're back in 4th place. So 1:21.314 for Spike Taylor and Kendall Dunlop. What did they get in qualifying? It was a 1:16 with number 12 Adam Unsworth and Bryce Rose on pole position. You're hard to pick your tyres. Some people might even choose to go to intermediates on here. As we see the number 57 machine through. Brian Stent, he's the current lap record holder in Classics at Wanganui with his sister Tracy Bryan on the side. She's out there piloting number 28, and Dan Frenzen's fiance Joe Mickelson is on the side of 28, so Dan Frenzen's pastoring on the number 57 machine, and the fiance's on the side there, so great to have a sidecar family. There's Andy Scrivener going through passion for Damien Nagel on the number 21 machine. Andy is about 8 or 9 times New Zealand champion. Number 77 Nick Ploeg, and number 77, I've got a lost the screen there, so Nick Ploeg and Marcella Pandiella from Tikawara on the Porteous Kawasaki. This is an ex-New Zealand champion winning machine. I think this can come into the country about 1989. Gavin Porteous, an Australia-built machine, who won a New Zealand championship on it and sold it on to Andy Scrivener in New Zealand. And I think this is still the same machine. Sidecar action out there. We've got the small Formula 2 bike of Tracy Bryan and Joe Mickelson back on the track now. They're still circulating around in about last position according to our timing stream. Got Ian and Warwick Burdick out there, 27, number 27 on the Lotta Nails bike, the blue short bike there, Formula 2 bike. They were racing back in the 1970s and they've been around as technicians and mechanics for the last few years and decided to give it a go themselves. So battle's still going on between number 11 and number 16 along the front straight, the Lawrence brothers and Michael Wallen, Burt they call them. Getting through some of the lappers there. We've got the lead bike out there is going into the Higgins corner, coming across a lapper. I think they're going to come across number 77. In fact, that's the Carl Cox machine. That's a Tracy Bryan and Joe Mickelson machine. So they'll gobble them up down the back straight. We go a long way back. Nearly half the back straight there, 5.994 seconds between first and second. I know what's going through Adam's head at the moment is just let's circulate and hold our position. The conditions are a bit too difficult to try and reel in Spike Taylor. Spike will be absolutely loving this in the wet. Saw him having a snooze at the pits this afternoon. Surprisingly he even woke up, but man, he's awake now, and there's nothing gets your attention. There's 200 horsepower of Suzuki GSXR 1000 on the LCR Louis Christian Racing Swiss-built machine.
Oh, this has been an absolute masterclass from the legend Spike. This brilliant. Can't speak highly enough. He's 8.4 seconds ahead of anyone else. So Adam Unsworth, Bryce Rose there. Still in second place. We've got 10 seconds further adrift. Barry Smith and Stu Dorr. But it's a long weekend at the office, so just get out there and get some championship points. The weather forecast looks a lot better for tomorrow. So if you are watching this on Ctas and thinking, should I come down? We would love to see you here. And also don't forget to get your tickets for Boxing Day. The streets will come alive and we can't wait to be there. So that there, go to cemeterycircuit.co.nz for all the info on that one. As we look at about a lap and a half to go, our race leader heading into Higgins. The white flag getting ready to go for him. And Kendall Dunlop, former New Zealand sidecar champion on board Pete the Pirate's machine a few seasons ago. Now on that Kiwi bike and Penrite Oils sponsored mobility wire wrapper. Awesome machine that of Spike's. He's got it dialed in, he's loving it, and talking to him this morning, just absolutely love it. Every season he just gets the smile wider and wider, and fabulous to see. So the white flag ready and waiting, got one lap to go. Our final race of the day, the Formula 1 and Formula 2 sidecars, brought to us by Cox Motorsport. Thank you so much to Carl and all he does for New Zealand road racing. And one lap to go, and a pretty dominant display here from Spike and Kendall there, Spider.
Yeah, Kendall's also a very capable lady on the racetrack on the Cox Motorsport Hyacinth Cup, and she's had wins there, outright wins, as well as the best female out there as well. So it's great to have Kendall out here, and and husband Matt as well, floating around the pits. I don't think he's got much to do today except walk around and just keep an eye on things. They do have a young daughter, but I don't know whether the young daughter's at the track. But Kendall, equally at home on the passengers in the sidecar, she is in the lead, you know. It's great. Great field of sidecars. They will be running at the cemetery circuit. No New Zealand points up there. That battle's still going on the front straight here. The Lawrence brothers tend to stay strong all race long, but they're going to get past coming across the start-finish line by Burt Warren, number 16 there. Let's have a look at the gap. That would be less than about I would say about 0.02 of a second. The gap there is 0.062 of a second, so 600ths of a second. And can he make that stick? And we look at them coming out of the Toyota corner. Number 16's got about 10 sidecar lengths over and above the Lawrence brothers, but the Lawrence brothers will be hunting to get that place back again there. Bike parked up on the inside, black machine parked up on the inside down the front straight. They did the right thing, they pulled up right on the inside, hand up. There is a checkered flag for Spike Taylor. And Kendall Dunlop, yeah, wow.
That is a brilliant performance. What a display. So they'll be loving that on that pen-right machine. Lovely stuff. Home there for Adam Unsworth and Bryce Rose. That's a good P2 for them. And coming around the final corner and on their way to round off the podium, Harry Smith and Stu Dorr on the Cox Motorsport long machine. So that's your top three. They're spread out far and wide now, Spider, but a treat for race fans there in the sidecars.
Indeed, and we're going to be racing for the Jock Taylor Memorial Trophy. That was a trophy that came out in the late 80s and was presented for a number of times in New Zealand, and it disappeared in the hands of a passenger to Australia in about 2006, but we managed to get back. It's missing one of its handles. That's part of the story, and that will be the presented to the winners of the final race tomorrow. So Cox Motorsport, whether you're dialed in watching it live or whether you're going to watch it later, mate, you just rock. You just rock. Your music is awesome. Your personality is just addictive. I've been in the commentary box for decades. I don't think I've ever seen someone so passionate. It's just Carl. You know, you're going to have kittens here, but Carl, man, the guy is just so awesome. And thanks for your support to New Zealand motorcycle racing. And I went to one of his shows in Wanganui. Great background music for me, but I had to go and see a world-leading DJ, and man, it just was just so electric. I could not believe the sounds that man could make, and the way the crowd just rocked for hours and hours and hours. I'm going to shut down now, folks. Thank you very much for a wonderful day. Thank you to all the crash crew and the people that have administered the sport for the day. Tough conditions out there, hasn't been too much wind, but all those flaggies that are wandering around there, you people rock. People on the start-finish line, the enthusiasm of some of these competitors as well, and looking forward to what I think is going to be a good fine day tomorrow, folks. Cheers.
All right, wrapping it up down here, our podium presentation for our Cox Motorsport Formula 1 and Formula 2 sidecars, and we will start with our P3, our legendary pairing, national champions, and on the podium, first up, let's hear it for Barry Smith and Stu Dorr. We'll start with you, Stu. Obviously, the number one's the goal, but you've got to be happy just to bring it home and get some quality championship points there.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about getting points. Unfortunately, our back tyre's just fried. Yeah. We'll do another day tomorrow and see how we go. Hopefully it'll be a little bit drier.
All right, Baz, not the starter to the weekend. You were expecting a few little engine sort of toing and froing, but you've got to be happy to get on the podium and survive the first day.
Yeah, I think we made a bit of a bad call in qualifying going out on the wets. We needed to get on the front row really. but I think we stuffed the rear wet when we were out there in qualifying, so we really struggled for grip there, so we just kind of took it fairly steady and just settled for third place, so at least there's some points in the bag.
Absolutely, so you've got to be pretty happy with how the bike's going. You ready for tomorrow, reload for a couple of races?
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully if it's dry tomorrow we should be on the money, I think.
All right, outstanding. It's some good championship points for them. Let's go to our P2 in our Formula 1. And Adam Unsworth, Bryce Rose, we'll start with you, Adam. Every time you get out there, that Boss Engineering V4 just gets better and better. You happy with that?
Absolutely. You know, we were stoked to get pole position in really challenging conditions. So that was really good. Always good to put a Aprilia numero uno. You know, that'll keep the boys happy in Noale. But, yeah, no, look, the rig's going really good. You know, we're stoked with second. You know, Bryce doing a great job on the back. Bike's running mint. We got, you know, we waited till the last minute before we decided. We were hoping it was going to sort of, you know, stop and dry up a little bit like it did in qualifying. But no, look, hey, fantastic start. Yep, we're happy with second.
So you've got to be, yeah, like I was going to say, happy with second and reload for a couple more races tomorrow. You all ready to go?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And can I just massive thank Kenji watching in Japan. Cheers, mate.
All right, Bryce, challenging conditions to say the least. Is it more fun or less fun out there in the wet?
I don't know, it is definitely fun, don't get me wrong, a little bit slower than what we used to, but no, it was really good. I'd like to congratulate Spike and his team on that win. That was beautiful, beautiful ride. Yeah, and thank you very much to all our team for all the hard work over the off-season. It's nice to come out, first race in, and put the bike on the podium, so thank you very much to everyone.
All right, an absolute joy to watch go well tomorrow, boys. I hope to get back on here. We'll start with you, Kendall, and how good was that? That was a magical performance.
It was, honestly, I think one of the most fun races I can remember. I've never liked this track too much because it's a very G-forcey track, so for me it's quite pumpy and hard work. But as soon as we got out for testing yesterday and practice, everything just gelled. Spike and I we've got a good rhythm and everything just felt so good. And honestly, it's a real honour to be riding for Spike this season because he's always been one of my heroes, so. Yeah,
so I saw you in the pits. There's smiles and laughing and cheering in this Penrite Kiwi bike team. So it must be just an awesome atmosphere to be in.
We have it's a really fun team. And I mean, if it's not fun, then why are we here, you know, at the end of the day?
Awesome. Well done for the performance. And we'll go to this legend here. Spike, that was a flawless performance in challenging conditions. You've got to be loving that.
Oh, that was great fun out there. She was sliding and all over the place. But we knew we just had to push on really hard because guys are pretty quick. And we got a lot of practice around here in the wet, so we sort of knew what we had to do, and yeah, it just paid off, so it was great. Kendall, what an awesome job, you know. Couldn't ask for any better than that. The bike planted where I needed it to be planted and all that, and Matt, he helped us out in the pits all day, and all the rest of our Penrite crew and our team, and you know, we just had a fantastic day so far.
So weather forecast looks better tomorrow. Are you hoping for more rain or are you hoping it dries out? Which one are you going for?
Oh, probably a bit more rain, I guess.
All right, now magical performance, and that's some quality championship points. Go to our Formula 2 sidecars, and pretty good performance. We'll start with our man Pete. Where's our man Pete gone? We've lost him here. Oh, here we go. So awesome stuff. We got the 55 the box. You got to be loving that.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely awesome. It's our first real full-on meeting on the thing, so I'm really wrapped with that. Yeah, it's awesome. And thanks to Lucy, my passenger for the day. She's done an excellent job, so yeah, cool.
All right, let's catch up with Lucy. And Lucy, challenging conditions, but loving that?
Yeah, it was a bit slippery because we bit the bullet and went out in slicks, so yeah, we had a bit of fun out there, and yeah, can't wait for tomorrow.
All right, so you locked in for the whole season on board the Dowman Suzuki?
Nah, my brother will be taking over at Cemetery Circuit. I'm just a fill-in at the moment.
Oh, what an awesome job. Well done. So it's third in Formula 2. We'll go over to this pairing over here. We'll start with you, Brian. Got to be happy with that. Some good championship points in Formula 2 racing.
Yeah, very happy, especially since we're on slicks. Yeah, it was quite interesting for a while. Got a nice start, but didn't know how good the brakes would be. So brake early, keep everybody safe. Yeah, no, it was great.
So you locked in for the whole season. We're going to see you around the streets of Wanganui as well?
Yeah, mate. Favourite track.
All right, you beaut. Let's go and take in with Dan here. Dan, what a ride that must have been on the slick tyre there.
It was actually better than I thought it was going to be, just sort of trying to keep as much weight on the rear as possible and stop it from lighting up. But yeah, no, I think we did all right.
So you're quite an experienced campaigner now on the back of these sidecars. Are you just starting to get more and more enjoyment every time you go out?
Oh, it gets better every time you come out. Like, you just have a grin on your face the whole way around. It's brilliant.
Oh, that's outstanding. Well done. Go well, and hopefully we'll catch up on the podium again tomorrow. Let's catch up with our Formula 2 race winners, and Jeff and Mark, well done. Up there in the top 3 at the start of it. The Formula 1 boys just got you in the end, but you've got to be loving a dominant performance there.
Yeah, look, we're both pretty losing a lot of grip towards the end, but it was good.
And Mark, a Formula 2 champion from last time round, nothing different this year. You're loving the machine?
Yeah, no, we've done a few bits and pieces, you know. It's you sort of it. Yeah, we just try and keep improving, you know. We're having fun. Even in the slippery, it's just fun, isn't it, you know? So, yeah, we're happy as.
Well, I thought that was a wonderful performance, so you got to be pretty happy and ready to reload again for another couple tomorrow?
Yeah, hopefully we get some dry races in tomorrow. Then we can start doing some proper skids sort of thing, you know. But, yeah, tomorrow's another day. See what it brings.
Oh, that's outstanding. That is a wrap of our Cox Motorsport Formula 1 and Formula 2 sidecars, and also a wrap for day number 1 here at the Suzuki Series for 2022. I absolutely loving it here. Weather forecast better for tomorrow. We should have some dry racing. Thank you to all our officials. Thank you to our marshals. And thank you very much to our sponsors. Our Suzuki International Series of 2022. That's a wrap from us today. We'll be reloading again tomorrow for some early racing. And we can't wait to get away to day number 2 of the Suzuki International Series.